Okay, so this week I want to talk about shoulders. Shoulders. It's such a difficult muscle to train. Seriously, it really is. I've had a lot of troubles with it, and it's probably one of the hardest muscles that I've had to develop on my physique. So what I noticed is whenever I do a bench press, when I used to do bench press, I don't do them now. It involves a lot of shoulders, as well as does a back exercise. When you're moving your arm, your shoulders are assisting in moving the arm, even though you're not necessarily isolating the shoulders. Pulling and pushing hits the shoulders. So one mistake I made when I first started training is that I did chest the day before I did shoulders. So if I did chest on a Monday, I would do shoulders on the Tuesday, and that hits it way too much and doesn't allow any recovery time. So basically your shoulders are getting hit every day, because I don't know I can't remember what I did on Wednesday, but it might have been like back or something, and it just too much on the shoulders doesn't give it time to grow and heal and ultimately get bigger and stronger. So what I decided to do when I restructured I restructured all my workouts so that to give the shoulders more time to recover. So that's one of the reasons why I train chest and back together, because I can go on a Friday and hit chest and back in an hour, and those are out of the way. So then on Saturday I can hit quads, Sunday I can take the day off, Monday I can come in and focus on shoulders. And I use the priority principle, which I've talked about which I use for the biceps as well. That's when you go to the gym, your first exercise you focus on, that's called the priority principle. So I prioritize the shoulders. So when I go in on Monday, that's the first thing I'm going to hit is shoulders. And I noticed that I used to do a lot of exercises like the upright row, where you grab a bar and you pull it up. And you can do it on machines, pull it up like this. I used to do it all the time, but I never feel like that exercise hits the shoulders the way it should, at least not for me. So I don't do it anymore. What I do now is I focus on overhead presses and dumbbell presses, which Arnold Schwarzenegger invented he says he invented it, the Arnold press. So you take dumbbells, so like if you do a curl with dumbbells, you bring the weight up to here. That's the starting position of the Arnold press. So you grab the dumbbells, and I would use a lighter weight, like something that you can handle for 15 reps. So you have the weight here, and then you press it all the way up and bring it all the way down. And at the same time, you're turning your wrists so that the weight's facing you like this, so like you would if you were curling the weight. That's the starting position of the Arnold press. So you have it here, then you push it up, and then the weights are facing out. It's a great exercise, and definitely hits the outer portion of the deltoid, the middle deltoid, which is what's going to give the rounded appearance of the shoulder. So that's a great exercise for that. So I always start off with 3 sets of that, 15 reps each. And then I go into the overhead, behind the neck barbell press. So I'll grab a bar, not too heavy, but heavy enough to stimulate the muscle. And I'll pick it up, kind of swing it up, and put it up over my head and put it on my back, which is like you'd have the bar sitting there like if you were getting ready to do a squat, but you have your hands on it to where you're going to press it up. So you press it up 15 reps just behind your neck, and that may not work for everybody, just because it might put strain on the shoulders or might cause some discomfort. But I always do it because it keeps the arm locked in a back position to where it puts stress on the middle deltoid, which is what I'm trying to hit first. I'm not trying to hit the front deltoid or the rear deltoid first. I want to hit that middle deltoid. So that's a lot of the pressing movements. So I do 15 reps of that. So I've done at this time I've done 3 sets of Arnold press, 15 reps each. Then I do 3 sets of barbell press for 15 reps behind the neck. And then after I've done those 6 sets, then I go over and do a lateral raise, which is a really tricky exercise because it's really hard to get it to actually hit the muscle without swinging it. Because I've done it wrong so many years. But you know, after you hit the deltoid with the presses, you should have your shoulders should be exhausted enough to where you can, you know, grab a medium-sized weight and still get something out of it. So I'll go over after that and I'll grab like 25-pounders or something or whatever, you know, and you just go like that and you keep the weight. You kind of keep the tension on the middle deltoid. And you look in the mirror and you can see the muscle tensing, so you know you're hitting the right spot, and kind of just like that. And sometimes you'll read about where it says to, you know, bring the weight up like you're pouring out water. So you bring the weight up and twist the wrists in. You don't necessarily have to do that, as long as you're keeping the tension on the middle deltoid and you're really keeping your form strict. You don't want to be swinging, you know, bringing the weight up or somehow getting it off to where you're not focusing on that. And it's easy to do with shoulders. It's really tricky muscle to train because it's easy to cheat. It's easy to hit it too much, to overtrain it. And so I do 3 sets of 15 of that. And by this time, you've hit most of your sets have focused on the middle deltoid. So you should have a pretty good pump at this time. And then I'll go over and finish with front raises, where you grab dumbbells and you bring it up, and then you bring the next one up. So I do 15 reps each arm, so a total of 30 reps. And then I'll superset that. After I do that, those 30 reps, I'll do a bent over lateral raise, where you sit on a chair or a bench, and then it's the same thing as a lateral raise, except you're bending over. So you bring the weight up, and it's the same motion, but what you're doing with that is you want to hit the rear deltoid, which is going to get hit the most by doing back exercises. Because when you're doing a row for your back or whatever, that really hits that. So you really don't need to isolate it, but why not? It's easy. It's not a big muscle, so it doesn't really hurt as much, but the smaller ones are the trickier ones to train. So you're bending over, and I do 15 reps of that. Then I'll catch my breath, grab the dumbbells, and do 15 reps each arm of that again. And then I'll, you know, go back to my bent over raises. So I do 3 sets each of that. And that's all I do for shoulders. It's I've been doing it for a while. I really like it. It allows plenty of time to recover, because I'm doing that on Monday. And then after I do shoulders, I'll do triceps, just because of all the overhead pressing that involves a lot of the triceps. And I can go into tricep exercises after that and hit them both in the same day. And then again, that gives me more days to recover and for the muscles to grow and heal. So, you know, if I feel like if I hit triceps a couple days later, I would just be overtraining it. So, and you know, a lot of tricep exercises also hit the shoulders as well. So hitting them both in the same day really is what I'll probably always do, because I feel like it's just good to hit them both on the same day. It gives a lot more time to recover and grow. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have for shoulders. For a while, I used to do biceps and triceps and then shoulders, which is really stupid. So always think about the priority principle, and you know, I always thought, you know, okay, my shoulders are a weak area, a weak point, so I should hit them first. And ever since I've done that and really focused on it, then I started to get results out of it. And definitely by not scheduling a shoulder day right after chest day or back day like I had before in the past, that definitely helped. And another thing is the front squat for quads, is you're putting the bar, you're lifting your arm up and you're putting the bar in this groove here, and you're holding the bar while you're doing a squat. So, you know, you're bringing the weight down, back up. That really brings out the middle deltoid. I remember the first time I did front squats, I was more sore. I wasn't sore in my legs, but my shoulders were extremely sore. So I was like, I think this is good for the the deltoids, and that's why I've always done them, because I really feel like it does bring them out. But that's all I have for shoulders, and yeah, like I said, it's a tricky muscle, but it's also a fun muscle to train because it's smaller and it's easy to pump. So there you go.